Today I wanted to share a zucchini fritter recipe with you guys. It's a baked version of a recipe that I have been doing for a while. Now, I used to pan fry this recipe with a little bit of oil, and I found that it was just too oily for me. And the reason why I pan fried it originally was because I thought that it would help the fritter hold together better than if I just baked it. Now, I was pleasantly surprised with this baked version when I found that it actually held together better than the fried version. It was nice and crispy on the outside, cooked all the way through, and it was super delicious. Now, I'm someone who is not a big fan of fried foods, and it kind of upsets my stomach a bit. So I was really happy that this version worked, and this is how I'm going to be doing it going forward. Without further ado, let's get started. Before you get started, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Celsius. And then I'm going to get started on prepping my veggies. I started by grating 2 small zucchinis and 1 large carrot. You're going to want to wring out as much of the water from them as possible. And the best way to do this is to put your grated zucchini and carrots in a towel and squeeze it dry. I didn't have one, so I used paper towel this time, and sometimes I just use my hands to wring out as much as the water as possible. You're going to want to get rid of as much as that moisture so that it crisps up nice in the oven. Next, I cut up about 1/8 of a yellow pepper, 3 cloves of garlic, a 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, and 1 green onion. I don't normally measure these and add different stuff each time, so don't be shy to be creative. The important thing to be mindful of is the water content of the veggies that you're using. So if you're using a tomato, for example, you might want to remove the watery parts and only use the fibrous part of the tomato. So here, everything is ready to mix. I grated a bit of cheddar cheese on the smallest grater setting and chopped up some Parmesan to add to the fritters to give them a nice salty, cheesy flavor. I used 2 eggs and had some black pepper, Italiano, and red chili pepper flakes ready to season the fritters with. Just mix them all together. I like to add the eggs last once everything has been mixed a bit. If you want to add an extra crunch, you can add 1/4 cup of panko, which I'd recommend adding after the eggs have been mixed in. Next, you're going to want to start lining them out on your baking tray. Be sure to use a baking sheet, like I did here, or parchment paper so they don't stick to the pan. You can do whatever shape you want. I made circles this time and did a few rectangles. This part can be a bit messy and the fritters will feel a bit loose, but they will firm up in the oven. Next, you're going to want to bake them in the oven for 35 minutes or until golden brown. I flipped mine over at the 30-minute mark just so I can get a bit of browning on the top side of my fritters. And there you have it. They come out of the oven. Once out of the oven, I'm going to let them rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then I will put them on my serving plate, and you can see they're nice and crispy. And they are actually very delicious. And like I said earlier, I found them to be a lot crispier than when I pan fried them. So don't feel like these are going to be soft and mushy. They do get a nice crispy outer shell on them. And then they are ready to be served. Now you can do these with the meat of your choice. We made burgers and made a little mustard mayo sauce with some tomatoes and feta. And we actually decided at the last minute to turn this into a nice burger. So I put my two fritters down, using those as the bun. Burger on top. And then I used the sauce, much like I would my mayo sauce for my burger, adding a few of the tomatoes. And this is the final product. You can see that fritter is holding up nice. It's not sagging, it's nice and crispy. And this is the cut test. Now, they are a bit soft inside. You could just grab it and bite into it like a burger. But I'm one of those weird people who likes to cut my burgers. So you can see Mel cutting this right now. And it was very good. Thank you so much, guys. Try this recipe out. Let me know if you want to see any other variations of it or see any new recipes. Thank you so much and have a great day.